In this video, I will explain histogram, how we can represent our data, explain our data visually. So imagine you are a shop owner and over the last 50 days, you've recorded how many customers visited your store each day. And you have 50 customers, 50 numbers. Looking at all those numbers individually is confusing. What if we could group them into ranges and instantly see where the most days fall? That's exactly what a histogram does. So histogram is a chart that groups data into ranges and we call this bins. Instead of showing every single value, it shows how many values fall in between the ranges, like 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and so on. Think of as the sorting students into the classroom based on their marks. Instead of focusing on each student, we focus how many students belong to the each school range. Example, we have this data set. We have this data sets. Let's say the coffee shop records daily customers for 20 days, and this is our data sets. And we create the bins in between the range 40 to 60, 60 to 80, 80 to 100, and 100 to 120. And how many count we have in from what 40 to 60? We have 4 counts, and 60 to 80 we have 8 counts, and 80 to 100 we have 6 counts, and 100 to 120 we have 2 counts. And we present this into the histogram. So histogram convert these counts into bars, and higher the bar means more days occur in that range. This is the red one. That means we have count 8 counts. And lower bars, few days occur in that range. Few days occur in that range. So this is the our histogram look like. So we can see the most day had between 60 to 80 range, and few days when we have more than 100 customers. So without reading 20 numbers, we understood 4 data set. That's the power of what we call histograms. Suppose we have just only this 2 range. Let's create this 40 to 80 and 80 to 120. Let's say 840 to 80, say 12, and 82 we have 8, right? And then you just select this. So instead of this, so our data is we need to select the data here. So our data, instead of this, we have the data, we select our data, this one. So this is the our histogram change. Our histogram look like this, right? The chart becomes simple, and most of we lose the details, and we use, now we suppose we use small bins, right? Like 40 to 50 and 50 to 60 and 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90, 90 to 100, and then 100 to 110, 110 to 120. So let's say this is only one value. Here we have 3 values, and here we have 4 values, and 70 to this is also have 4 values, and this one has 4 values, and this one has 3, this one has 1, this one has 0, right? So here we change our data. So in this formula we change our data from this to this. So we have now small bins, so which each bar says how many counts we have. So okay, we've selected our this data, right? And then we insert, and then we have this charts where we have the statistical data histogram. So we have this. Now we have 3 bins where it says 40 to 45 to 60 we have 7 counts, 68 to 91 we have 9 counts, and 91 to 114 we have 4 counts. But what if we want to change the bins, and number of bins we want is like 4, right? So we want 4 bins. So here we have 4 bins. So our range change. So range change, and then it shows how many counts in between that range. What if I change the number of bins to 8, right? So it will change the range and we have more information. So choosing the right bin size is important because it changes how clearly we see the distribution. So this histogram is used everywhere: business sale analysis, customer demand forecasting, manufacturing, quality control, research studies, data science, stock market analysis. Any time we want to understand how data is distributed, a histogram is one of the best tools. Because histogram doesn't show individual values, it groups values into ranges that we call bins, and that shows how many observations fall into each range. The tallest the bar shows most of the data is concentrated. That's why histograms are one of the most useful charts in data analysis. Hope you understand the concept of the histogram, and then whenever you deal with the data, and you can present your data visually by using this histogram chart form. See you in the next video.